One of the ideas we use quite a lot at Marshall Method Therapy is the idea of the love languages. And Debbie, one of the team, is going to explain to us what are love languages.
Okay, so we sort of say there's five dominant love languages. So it's caring actions, it's spending quality time together, it's appreciative words, it's giving presents and gifts. Um,
And I think if you're struggling, the last one is loving touch.
oh yes, of course, loving touch. So physical contact, loving touch. But what happens is that we all tend to have a preference maybe for either the way that we receive love or we show our love for our partner. And it might be that maybe my preferred way is doing caring actions for my partner. So doing little things around the house or bringing a cup of tea in the morning or
Collecting them from the station late at night.
exactly. So those sort of care, what I consider to be caring actions, are my way of showing love, and I like to receive those things maybe as well. But let's say my partner has physical or intimate physical touch, um, affectionate contact as their preferred love language. So my caring actions don't necessarily speak to that person as their, that's how I'm showing my love, and they don't necessarily receive it. So they might be frustrated that I'm not being more affectionate, I'm not putting my arm around them, or I'm not kissing them, or I'm not showing the physical contact. So what happens in conversation with couples, I ask them to think about what for them is perhaps their dominant. In fact, we'd all like all five of them, to be honest. That, in an ideal world, we'd have them all five. But what happens is that you have one that speaks more to you, and it might be because of your family of origin. That was the way that your parents or your family showed love to you. So you sort of maybe, if they were very keen to sort of give things and give presents, then that was the way that they showed love. But they weren't very good at giving affection, then maybe that doesn't speak to you so much.
And sometimes when you don't actually get it, it makes it incredibly powerful. So if as a child nobody ever said, I love you, actually as an adult, you're going to crave that more than anything else.
Exactly.
And understanding these allows you to target your energy, because we all have a limited amount of energy, rather than spraying it in the wrong direction, so to speak, because you can be doing all those caring actions, and if they're not being noticed as caring actions and as love language, then there's going to be an issue between the two of you, and one person is going to feel, I love you, but I'm not in love with you.
Yeah, so I think getting couples to give that some thought, because a lot of people have never even come across the idea of love languages, or even thought about how do I actually like to receive love, and how do I think I show it to my partner. So I think getting them to think about that, and it's an exercise they can do at home, and then we talk about it. What was the learning of doing that exercise? And then you can actually target that a little bit. So if you become more aware that your husband or your wife really appreciates maybe quality time together, like we make time for each other, we do something together, and that really speaks to them. And maybe we have one or two dominant, not just one, but maybe have one out of the five, or we might have one or two dominant. If you're mindful of that, and you actually target that, and you show your partner, I know that that's important to you, and so I will make an effort to speak that love language.
And it can help also to think of, if you have other love languages that are not included in the five, to actually think of, are there other ways do you express your love, and actually expand the list together.
Yes.
That can be very powerful too.
Yes, exactly. I mean, these are sort of five headings, but it could be anything really that speaks to you in terms of how do you feel you show your love. So I think that for couples as being very useful when they think about it, because so often, I think you once said, it could be that I'm speaking English and you're speaking Japanese. We just miss each other completely. We're not communicating, and a lot of our work is about how can we improve the communication? How can we target things better in terms of really understanding where you're coming from and what's important to you?
So sometimes actually being a therapist is being an interpreter and helping the two of you understand each other.